I'm striving to get rich. That's why I almost went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little prouder.
Yo, what's up, world? APW Sports Saturday in. And today is just going to be a little bit of a rant. Almost a bit of just my thoughts on this whole entire George Floyd situation that we have going on. First of all, my thoughts and prayers go out to the family and the friends and the loved ones of George Floyd, who was murdered by the police. And I emphasize the word murdered, because there is no way in hell that you have to drive your knee in a man's neck while he's begging for his life, telling you that he can't breathe, screaming out for his mother, and you have 3 other officers that are pinning him down against a police car. Why is that necessary? Just to arrest a man. Is that necessary? In the same way, you have a guy who I'm not going to mention names, who went into a church, pulled out a weapon, draw the weapon, murdered 9 people, shot more, but yet you apprehend him peacefully, give him a vest, and take him to Burger King. Meanwhile, another fellow black man, as you guys know, yes, I am a proud black man, and I mean proud, has to die because you so-called say using money or whatever the situation was. Really? His life is now gone because of brutality and excessive force. And rest in peace to the other many others that have been murdered by the police or other racist people in this world. Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Tamir Rice, Oscar Grant, Trayvon Martin, Philando Castile, Alton Sterling. The list goes on and on. Sandra Bland, Laquan McDonald. The names go on and on. It's a never-ending list. And I'm basically hurt to say, or disappointed to say, is there are going to be more names added to this list, unfortunately, because number one, people are still going to use their badge to use excessive force when there is none necessary. None necessary. Killing off and murdering innocent black men and women. For what reason? Murdering us in cold blood for what reason? Now, personally, I refuse to watch the video. I don't want to see it. Because honestly, I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of watching my fellow black people get murdered for no reason. Killed by police and killed by racist people in this world for no reason. For no damn reason. Other than the fact that we're black. When is this shit gonna end? When is it gonna end? When is it going to end? I understand the looting and the rioting. I understand it all. Because at the end of the day, mind you, we've tried peaceful protests. Hasn't worked. Our voices still haven't been heard. We just want to be treated equal. We just want to be treated fairly. We're walking around with a target on our back because we're black. I can understand fear of parents of their kids just having normal days and not knowing that if they may never come home again because somebody racist or racist cop or just racist person It's going to take their life away from them. It's absolutely just pure sad. And I'm just extremely disappointed that it really had to come down to this, because our voices were not heard before. And you guys wonder why Colin Kaepernick kneeled. And you weren't listening to the reason that Colin Kaepernick kneeled. People were so hardened by him kneeling, they were so worried about just him kneeling and taking a knee, they really never took the time to look at the issue of why Colin Kaepernick is kneeling. This is why Colin Kaepernick took a knee for the national anthem. Because of what we have going on right now. Nobody listened to the reason why. They were just so enamored and just so hurt by him taking a knee during the flag. By number one, he was not disrespecting the flag. Number two, he's not disrespecting America. Y'all, I'm not going to say y'all, but people in general were just so talking about why he knelt, or just him kneeling, not why. We're talking about him kneeling, but never took the time to discuss the issue of why he was kneeling. And now it comes down to this. You have rioting everywhere, from Minnesota to LA to my hometown of Chicago, Florida, Texas. You have everywhere rioting and protesting. And Colin Kaepernick tried to tell you guys why, and nobody listened to him. Nobody listened to him. Nobody took the time to really discuss the issue of why Colin Kaepernick is kneeling. Only the reason that he was just kneeling. Now, would I be the one looting? Honestly, no. Especially not a black-owned business. But I understand the point. I understand why. Because we weren't heard. I understand why we're looting. I'm not personally going to go to a black business and loot because, number one, I support my fellow black people. But if you go to these racist white neighborhoods and racist white things and loot, I'm not going to be one that's going to necessarily go in the stores and do it. But at this point, we have to send some type of a message, because what we done before wasn't heard. It wasn't heard. It wasn't heard in 1992. It wasn't heard in the 60s. It wasn't heard in the 50s. It wasn't heard in the 70s. It wasn't heard in the 80s. It wasn't heard in the 2000s. It wasn't heard in the 2010s. Are we going to be heard now? Based off of history? No. We're not going to be heard. I hate to say it, but you're still going to have people that are going to just go about their same ways, because they don't really have the heart or just the wherewithal that we all need to do better. And I think until they are actually woken and listened and just understand the nth degree that us black people, it is not just black people that are pissed off about this too. There are other white people that are pissed off. There are Asians that are pissed off. There are Hispanics that are pissed off about this too. Like, what is it going to take for things to be fair and things to be right and equal? What is it going to take? Because to this point, nothing has worked. We're still getting treated unequally by a system. We're still getting treated unequally by police departments. We're still just getting treated unfairly. And it hurts my heart that our brother George Floyd was murdered. For some people to really take the time and really just understand what in the world is going on. And the video of Ahmaud Arbery, that was in February. And we're talking May, that people were just now being held accountable for a murder that was clearly on videotape, for a murder that was clearly planned and they're just now being held accountable. And I'm not even going to say held accountable because they're probably going to give him a slap in the wrist, i.e. the Laquan McDonald situation. That video happened in 2016. And it took to 2018-19 for them to really resolve the issue, and he got a slap on the wrist for firing 16 shots. 16 shots. And you say he was holding a weapon. It was just a butter knife. And he's murdered in cold blood, 16 shots. In cold blood. And this guy, probably a couple years, they're going to let him walk free. For murder. Let the roles have been reversed. We could easily say, number one, if that was a black cop and a white man, black cop would have been charged with not third-degree murder, but first-degree murder. I don't understand why it's not first-degree murder. You're clearly deliberately driving your knee on Mr. George Floyd's neck with your hand in your pocket. It's clear as day. And you get third-degree murder. In Minnesota, that only leads up to 25 years. Meanwhile, you still have the other 3 fired officers remaining free. And you only arrest and charge 1 at this particular point in time. Only 1. When you clearly see exactly what's going on in the videotape. Like I said, I refuse to watch it because I don't want to see anybody else just get murdered in cold blood for no reason. I don't want to see it. I'm tired of seeing it. I've seen too much of it. I've seen it with Alton Sterling. I've seen it with Philando Castile. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm so fucking sick and tired of it. As a black man, I'm fucking tired of it. Excuse the cursing or whatever. I don't care because at this point I'm pissed. I'm pissed. It's troubling. And meanwhile, I heard reports yesterday that the charged officer, which I will never say his damn name, I don't even want to remember his damn name, was on suicide watch. You knew exactly what you were doing. You knew what you did. Now you're suicide watch? You can't live with what you've done? You can't live with the pain you caused not only him, the murder that you caused of him, you caused his kids to grow up without a father. You caused his family to lose loved brother, loved friend, loved human being. And you're on suicide watch because you can't live with it. Meanwhile, you knew what you were doing at the time. In no way you ever let up on George Floyd, my brother, George Floyd. You never let up. I just don't get it. Now the rioting and the looting, like I said before, I agree with it, but it has to be methods to where it's heard. We can't do it to each other at this point. I understand it. I'm not going to participate in the looting. I agree with the rioting. I agree because we have to do something. Our voice has to be heard some way, somehow. And peacefully protesting like Colin Kaepernick did was not heard. Now we're to this. 3 well-known deaths of innocent people, my fellow innocent black people, within the last couple of months. And I hate to say it's going to be more because some still don't get it. Because they know they're going to get away with it. They know they're going to get away with using their force to murder. I don't understand why, when these officers were fired, they were not immediately arrested. I don't get why they were not immediately arrested. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. I just send my prayers to everybody that's number one protesting what we have going on, and I just pray for every black woman, and I pray for every black man out there. I truly do. Because with the way this is going, we don't know when our last day is going to be. When we could just be walking out of a grocery store getting groceries for our family, and the police think we're doing something, or that they can assume that we're just disobeying the law, and they take excessive force, and there goes our life right there when we were just out to the store to get groceries to support our family. It's heartbreaking, man. It is very heartbreaking, very frustrating. It hurts. It hurts. It feels like we have no end in sight. It really does to me. Because people still don't understand. They still don't get it. They just don't. And I hate to even have to talk about something like this. I hate that we even in this situation to begin with. And I hate that this happened. I hate the fact that this happened. Period. It sucks. It's been going through my mind the last really few days. It really has. And it's not blacks or against whites. It's not black against this. It's everyone versus racism. Blacks versus racism. I don't hate white people. I don't hate any other people. I don't. I don't hate one group of people. I don't. I personally, I have friends that are white. I personally have friends who are Hispanic. I really don't know too many personally Asian, but I don't have a problem with people, period. I just don't. I've never looked at somebody as like, I never liked them because of their race. There are differences, of course. Of course there are differences. And I seen a perfectly held sign by a young black man that says, at one point, what point that do I become handsome? Let me make sure I get this right. At one point, do I stop becoming handsome and become a threat? Meanwhile, the kid in the picture had to look about, at least, to me, he was like 10, 11 years old. At one point, does he stop being handsome and become a threat? Because at this point, the way things are going, everybody black has a target on their back. No matter if you're doing everything innocently by law-abiding citizen, I still feel there's a target on your back. And I hate to say that, but what has transpired within these last couple of days especially, but just throughout history in general, we have a target on our back, and it sucks that we have to teach kids how to really try to defuse a police situation, because we never know when an officer can use excessive force. We just don't. It hurts. It hurts, guys. It really hurts. It hurts. I hate to even have to even think of just talking about my feelings and thoughts about it, but I hate to have to even deal with a situation like this. And at this point, I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing my fellow black people die for no reason. And I say die, and I say murdered in cold blood. No justice. No peace. Fuck this. I'm out.
I wanna say thank you to my mom and my daddy for making love the night that you had me. Wanna thank my friends, my sister, and my brother.